All right, so we're looking forward to that
I am not going to sleep tonight
because of the Yugoslavian space program.
because of the dog.
Oh, Leica, the space dog.
Did that dog come back
I don't know. Do you guys remember?
I think the dog died.
in space? Did
As
he
did the
starve?
chimpanzees. Well, they don't bring them back, and they weren't set up
Oh
to do
my
soft landing.
God!
Oh,
How can
that's
they
right.
do that?
I don't even know how
Nothing
those
is worth that.
Russians did that. They landed their space stuff on the land, not even in the ocean. I don't know how they did that.
Oh, how inhumane! That is just. I don't care how far advanced we are. If you do that, you collect negative karma. You just don't be doing that stuff.
Well, look what happened.
Yeah.
The wall fell down.
You know, I don't
All
feel
because of
sorry for
that
you.
space dog.
I.
It's bad karma.
I think it is bad karma. I do. I think you don't do that.
Bad karma will get you if you don't watch out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why dowsing's a good thing, actually.
Well, let's get busy with the dowsing,
Right
guys. Hi, welcome. Susan Collins and Grahame Gardner.
Good to be here.
Great to have you on the show. Now, boy, where should we start with this? You know what? Maybe we should start, as you suggested, Susan, by giving us maybe kind of a basic kind of summary or definition of what dowsing is for people who might not be familiar with it.
Well, dowsing is basically the detection and transformation of energy. So we can see with our eyes and we hear with our ears and smell with our nose, but there are subtle senses that dowsing can bring us to.
Okay, because when I mentioned to Sandra that you guys were on the show, she said, "Oh, well, I can't douse."
Anybody
Right.
can dowse.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I read in the document.
Well, from what I understand, dowsing. I mean, I don't trust myself. I think it's my mind. I'm thinking I'm giving it the answer I want it.
It's all about your mind. But dowsing is a means of getting in touch with your intuitive side. It lets your mind shut down so that your subconscious comes through. That's really what it's all about.
And there are dowsing protocols that you train yourself to go into a place of accuracy. So dowsing comes from a place of not knowing and not caring what the answer is. So we say a place of ignorance and apathy.
Okay.
So it's hard to dowse about emotional things for yourself if there's a job situation or a relationship situation. But things like food, earth energies, there's lots of things that we can dowse for.
So I'm already seeing how transferable this is to all areas of your life.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Sure.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's find out, like, how did you get into this?
For me, I think a lot of people come to dowsing through an emotional or physical crisis. For me, when I was 29, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. My hands were claws for the next 23 years. Had trouble walking. I was on chloroquine, diclofenac, methotrexate, prednisone all at the same time.
Wow.
Hands were in splints, had to quit my job. So I fell apart. Western medicine couldn't help me. Alternative medicine couldn't help me. Then I found a book in the library written by a former president of the British Society of Dowsers, and it talked about earth energies. So I read the book, and it said cut a branch off the bush. So I went and cut the branch, walked across my yard, and the branch moved. So that was my first introduction
What do
to...
you mean? You walked across the yard and the branch moved?
Well, I was looking for my septic system.
Oh.
So
Like, this is what most people think if they know about dowsing,
Yeah.
is you take the Y-shaped stick, right?
there's a modern stick. In the old
Okay.
days, you would... Can you get that on camera? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
we
on
got
camera.
on camera. Yeah.
Okay. In the old days, you would cut a branch from a tree, but the branch breaks, and that's not always the time of year. So modern dowsers have modern tools. So this is one of them. So when you have a found water target, the branch will drop.
No, okay.
So I did that just from a little book I read.
Wait, I just got to ask you, because I've dowsed.
Yeah.
You know, I've cut that branch and I've walked
You've
around.
cut that branch right on.
You know, can it be any branch, or is there a specific tree that's better?
They used to think that certain woods were better for finding water,
Yeah.
but that's really sort of medieval superstition. You know, pretty much anything will do, as long as it has the right degree of flexibility.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So before we get on to your story, Graham, Susan, but you were trying to deal with a health problem, and now you're walking around your yard trying to find your septic system.
How does that
do
fit
those things
together?
connect? Yeah.
Well, the same book that talked about how to dowse talked about energies in the earth, and that if you're sleeping on them or sitting on them for an extended period of time, that can make you sick in the long run.
Okay, so did you find that there was something that was making you
Yep,
sick? And what was it?
Well, there was we say non-beneficial earth energies. So in my sun porch, I had a lot of crystals all laying around, and they were amplifying non-beneficial earth energies to where I was sleeping. So once I realized there are earth energies, and this is one of Graham's specialties, once I realized there were earth energies, then I could take steps, first detect where are they, and then help to transform those energies.
So how did you go about doing that?
Well, that's-
Through dowsing?
Through dowsing, absolutely through dowsing. So that's my path. I don't use expensive gadgets.
But how do you do that? Because you're not finding water, or are you? Is it all about the water, or what are you finding?
Electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay.
So the human body has electromagnetic frequencies, and we're detecting that with dowsing.
So,
Okay.
so these crystals, you actually, I mean, they're like quartz crystals and rose quartz, like all those kinds of crystals. So you actually thought you were doing a lot of good.
I thought, well,
With
they
all
were
the-
pretty. You know, what did I know? And I think we do harm to ourselves sometimes with ignorance. We don't know what we're doing.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I mentioned that, because a lot of people use crystals for healing. And so in your situation, it actually had the opposite effect.
It did.
So
Yeah,
if we
'cause
don't
crystals
know
can-
what we're doing, it can actually be detrimental.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Crystals can interact with all these energies and amplify them. So if they're in the wrong place, you get a detrimental effect instead of a beneficial effect.
Wow. So it's not because they're not powerful, it's because they're too powerful
Yeah,
in some
perhaps.
cases.
So we try to tune the energies of crystals, the earth, the environment, food, tune the energies to our own bodies to make it
Okay.
healthy for ourselves.
So what's good for you may not be good for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's all about self-empowerment.
Wow, this is really neat. This is a lot different than I thought dowsing was.
Now, Graham, you're president of the British Society of Dowsers, right?
I am.
And what's your story? How did you get into dowsing?
I read a couple of books when I was a teenager. I was kind of looking for more to life than the everyday senses. So I read a couple of books, and I bent a couple of pairs of coat hangers into dowsing rods, like angle rods, like we have there. And I went out and proved to myself that I was finding water.
Wow.
Didn't do much about it for another 25 years until I saw a solar eclipse in 1999, which really changed my mindset, and I decided I was going to do more with this then.
Now, what was it about the eclipse
Yeah.
that
It
changed
was
your
just a kind of
mindset?
mental switch, I guess. You know, I was in my 40s, that was
Yeah.
sort of midlife crisis sort of thing. You know, I need to get out of working full time and spending more time developing this side of my life.
Mhm.
So that was 1999, and here I am now, I'm president of the British Society of Dowsers.
Wow. Okay. So how does that relate to when we were kind of joking before we came on about the Druids and all that? And we keep hearing about these sacred power spots where churches are built, and if you dig down, there are previous sacred buildings on these
Sure.
sites.
This is kind of more into geomancy, which is what I do. We're interested in the science of call it the science of the ancients, because they did build these temples and churches on previous power spots. Like, it's quite well known that Chartres Cathedral in France is built over the site of a druidic dolmen, so deep down underneath. So as dowsers and geomancers, we look for these sort of energies because we can work these energies and harness them into a beneficial spot.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, now we've got a conference coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
And so people can, if they're fascinated by this, they can go. They can attend the conference. It's in Hamilton.
Hamilton,
right?
it's the Canadian Society of Dowsers annual convention.
My friend's going to probably be going.
Excellent.
I'm gonna have to-
Ask her to introduce herself or himself.
It's a him.
It's a him? Okay.
And he's from Scotland too.
Oh,
okay.
This is okay.
Yeah, this is my friend. Yeah,
Right
that
on.
we were talking about before we came
So
on.
it's the 25th anniversary. So of the Canadian Society of Dowsers conferences.
Okay.
So dowsing is an ancient art,
Yeah.
and it used to be something that was practiced more individually and by oneself. But now there are international societies: the British Society, the Canadian, the American. So around the world there are various societies.
We're a little older than you guys, though.
But can you actually use hangers for this?
Coat hangers, yeah, sure.
You don't even have to go somewhere and get special dowsing rods.
Exactly.
It's that easy to do.
It's not
Exactly.
easy, yeah. You can use anything.
Now that we have brought some rods, I've brought little ones here, and I think Graham's got
I've got some on the table
on
there.
the table.
So we got a whole bunch of stuff.
We
got
have-
some
we have a
stuff that
variety
we
of
can.
tools.
Now we're talking about water, earth energies, and that sort of thing. But you brought some fruit. I brought some
Your
stuff.
salad.
We got some rocks. We got a piece of Mars
Apparently,
here,
What?
theoretically.
and we're going to see if it's really. Now, what can you do when you're using these implements with this stuff? What are we testing for?
I mean, how do I?
How do you use them? Right. So the tools respond to our intention. If you don't have a specific intention or question, they're just all over the place.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so it's all about the mental focus.
Okay,
it is a
so-
mental discipline.
Can I just try this on air now and see how it works?
Apparently so,
Yeah.
yes. You just So there's a different response for some people. If you can ask to see yes, which one might be open.
Or it might be crossing, like they
or it
just
might
did
be
there.
crossing. Wow. And a good way to hold them maybe is a little more
Like
tightly.
that?
Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't even put them in your fist, yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
straight
that, yeah.
like that? Okay.
And if you hold it, you want to hold it so that they're level and pointing straight out, just like a pair of six guns.
So I have to, but I
Right.
can't point them. They're doing their own thing.
But that's
Tip them
'cause
down a little bit.
You're thinking.
Yeah.
It's responding to your thoughts.
Stop thinking.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
And that
now,
works.
So now you bring them up a little bit.
No, but see, they're not parallel. You got to hold them up now.
There you go. That's okay there.
But stop thinking is a key point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so
it's
if I
easier
ask
said
a
than
question,
done.
It is.
Right?
So if I ask a question,
What question? Formulate your question. Maybe about a piece of fruit.
okay, is it like does a yes or no question?
Yeah. Something you can answer with a yes or
An
no.
essay question.
Okay. Okay. So you know what? Okay. Okay. I'm going to ask a question. Okay. It's a yes or no question. It's about Hugh.
Okay, so something personal,
Okay. Then okay.
you know, and also we don't treat it as a joke. This
Okay.
is
Right.
only
Well,
used.
I
No, we're
want
just
it to be
laughing.
something-
We're
I
very
know,
serious
but-
I
about
want it
this.
to be something that there's no attachment to.
Well,
That's
obviously you're attached to Hugh.
why. Okay. Well, it's just about his hair. If he's going to get a haircut, that's all I was.
That's
gonna,
predicting the future.
oh,
what-
I can't do that.
There's many things you can do. You can look at probabilities for the future,
Yeah.
but a simpler thing might be to look at a piece of food
Okay.
and say, is this a healthy piece of food for me to eat? And then you don't get into haircuts in the future. And,
Okay. Okay.
You know,
So is
practical
this a
things.
healthy food for me to eat like now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or for lunch, because right now you probably don't want to be eating on air.
Right.
It's very specific.
Okay. So let's ask that. So is the apple a healthy food? It does have to be about me.
But first you better know what your yes and no is.
Okay.
Because how will you
Okay.
know? It's going
Okay.
to move. So
So
You need
what's
to ask the rods to show me my yes response.
Yeah.
okay? Show me my yes response,
and I always say please. too.
please. Please show me my yes response.
See, now we're moving into a place where you're serious. Now, just make sure when you're holding it, it can still move.
Yes. it's
Okay, it can't move. Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go.
okay.
There you're stuck. So sometimes people use the tools and they're not sure exactly how, and then there's
Right.
no response or some response. You see, you're thinking about me, so now you're pointing at me more, right?
Well, my focus is on you.
Yeah, so therefore the rods is. So the rods will point to what you're focused on.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
So see, you're right. It's working when I'm not thinking about it.
Okay, can I try? Well, whenever you're finished. I don't want
try
to.
because I'm.
I just
this
want
is
to.
really
Now
good
that I
for-
learned all the
Want to
stuff.
try the little guys too?
Thank
The
you.
whole trick is to get your conscious mind out of the way so that your
Guys,
subconscious
this
can
is
speak.
not so easy to do.
It's not. That's the part of the
Yeah.
training. So
Okay,
when you
so-
say that you're not confident in your results, it could be that you're not focused. And Hugh, you told me that your rings are magnetic,
Yeah.
and that might be an issue for.
These rods aren't magnetic, they're okay.
These ones
Oh.
are?
No.
No, they don't seem
Although
at
you-
all magnetic.
Oh, okay. Those are.
Oh, they
Oh,
are a
those
bit.
bits are-
They
the ends
are a
are,
bit
yeah.
on the bottom.
Yeah. And Sandra, you want to be holding them so that the little bead on the bottom is loose.
Oh, okay.
Now, I should point out at the Canadian Society of Dowsers conference, we'll be running dowsing schools.
Yeah.
See?
So right from
You see,
beginning,
and we obviously need it. Well, I don't know about you, but I sure do.
but you're getting responses. So that
Yes.
will be show me yes, show me no, point to Graham.
Wow, like it's pointing to you because you're doing all the
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Sorry.
Show me where the nearest McDonald's is.
Whereas, but then that's an interesting one. Show me where the nearest McDonald's is.
Oh, really?
But if somebody in here is named McDonald, it could point to them.
Yeah.
Right.
my goodness.
Okay, let's see.
That's
See, look,
Okay.
they're both pointing to you guys because you guys are both talking now.
That's because we've got the.
Yeah, we're influencing
That's
them here.
amazing.
They're okay. Where's the nearest Starbucks?
Now you want to add direction, so you would say rods point to the nearest
Oh,
Starbucks.
okay, you have
Rods.
to be really clear.
Point
Point
in the direction of the nearest
to
Starbucks.
the nearest
and I don't know where that is.
Starbucks.
We can't influence you on that.
Okay, for mine, point to the nearest Timothy's because I know where that one is.
Okay.
So now we've got dead air. So this
Well,
is
we
great.
just this is the dead air. Yeah, clearly,
people
You know
Stop.
what? No, you know what?
This is
Look
the-
at point to the nearest Timothy's.
And is it over there?
Yes, it
Okay.
is, isn't
So,
it? Yes, it is.
and you're pointing as well.
Well, maybe there's somebody named Timothy over
actually,
here.
that's
Wait a
right.
second.
Mine did point
There you go. Yeah.
because the Starbucks is back there,
Yeah.
but
Okay, where's Timothy's?
over there.
Oh.
Straight ahead.
Okay, see, I'm thinking the Timothy's is over there.
Yeah, so you're influencing the result.
That
But there
girl.
could be something called Timothy's over
Oh,
there.
that's true.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Nearest
Okay.
Timothy's.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a really good point because my sense of direction is really bad.
Okay.
I don't want to say, I don't know that.
Well, okay.
Isn't that interesting?
So we got all kinds of other implements. Now this, do you want to kind of
This is a Graham.
mention what
This is an American tool. It's called a Cameron orometer. It was invented by a famous dowser known as Vern Cameron back in the 60s. And this is really the most versatile dowsing tool, I think, because I can use it like the rods, so I can go left,
Right.
I can go right.
Right. Yeah.
Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I can turn it upside down. I can use it like a pendulum.
Right.
Oh my
So I
God.
can ask my yes and no questions with that.
Uh-huh.
I can make it less sensitive by turning the tip down. And it can also act as a bobber, which is another common dowsing tool.
And it folds up into your pocket.
And it folds up and goes right in your pocket.
Wow.
What a great invention
So, yeah.
for dowsing.
Now, okay, so we obviously need to go to dowsing school, but
Absolutely.
you brought some stuff here. Can we douse this
If you like.
Sure.
just to see what, as professional